I can see in the Shopify store, they were used to do 20K, 20K, 20K. Then in March 2020, they did 20K and then they did 850K.
Yeah. Hello to everyone. Welcome to the Ecom Business Podcast. Anatoliy is here, and today we have wonderful guest, one of my good friends and as well the agency owner. This person actually basically started everything back in 2020 when was e-commerce boom during the quarantine time, during the COVID, and that's actually was one of the reasons where he saw the opportunities and decided to open his own agency using his skills in e-commerce to help people scale their businesses and start working with the brands which is looking for ads management and in the same time strategic partners who are going to be helping them out to scale. And it works out for him because as for now, in the 3 years only, he was able to generate over $40 million in the results for his customers. And he's basically from Denmark. He started everything there. And recently, 2020 in August, he moved to Dubai, where he's living his dream life because he was dreaming about that whole his life before the agency. And finally, he's there. And as well, I would tell you what's out of the ordinary about this person, that if you go with him in the gym, you won't be able to beat him. He is the King Kong and he is the real Terminator in the stuff what he's doing in the gym. When I look on him on the gym, I'm like, oh my God, I really admire him because the guy switched his body in the less than 5 years in incredible shape, and the power what he is able to push from, he's really I would say I'm not told, he's not told, but he's pressing so much in the gym that it's insanely shocking me. And it shows me the consistency, the results of the clients, the results in the health and body changes, and now changing his lifestyle by moving in Dubai, showing that this person knows what he's doing and always moving forward for his goals to achieve them. So our guest today, it's Lasse Nirgaard. Lasse, what's up, man? How are you doing, brother?
Hey, thank you for the introduction. I'm doing very, very good. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm great. And I was not joking about the gym because you impressed me a lot in Nashville. Come on, man, what are you doing? You are really a great inspiration for several people, believe me.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, to go to the gym has always been a passion of mine, especially for, I would say maybe 10 years, because it's actually giving me so much energy to hit the gym every day. It's also for consistency and mindset purposes that I'm also doing it, because obviously there is, times, periods of your life where you actually don't want to do it. And when you have that, thing in mind, say, hey, don't go, and you go, and you can consistently beat that, small voice in your head, next time it will just become easier and easier and easier. And yeah, man, I love to go to the gym. It's not that I want to be any bodybuilder and, every time I try to push myself, it's not like that. I just really, really love to get out there and, be moving my body. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly what was, in my opinion, one of the things which is showing the consistency from the person when he's following what he's doing. And it's a perfect example from your end. From the first second, you just give it a golden nugget that you just pushing yourself, and it's creating for you in mindset, creating the consistency for everything what you're doing. It's important for any human out there who is listening to us to understand that to wake up earlier one time, it's perfect. 3 times it's okay, but doing that on consistent basis, or even not about waking up, whatever, do not eat shitty food in the fast food, going to the gym, taking care of your body, it's really something which is hard to do, and especially on the consistent basis. When you are repeating this kind of exercises every single day, I believe you are really creating the habit for yourself in all the directions of life.
Yeah, 100%. The first time I was ever doing it, which actually shaped my mindset a lot. I met a old doctor. He was also kind of a bodybuilder, that's maybe 10 years ago or something like that. When I believe maybe I was 18 years old. and I asked that guy, hey, what should I do if I need to want to become in shape in like, 6 months from now? And then he said to me, okay, you need to do, obviously eat this and, count your calories. And then you can't drink alcohol. And, I was 18 years old, and, in Denmark, people, I think that we are the country that actually drink the most alcohol in the whole world. And after that, actually, after he said that to me, I went out of the gym and I didn't drink for 6 months.
Nice.
And I believe that shaped my mindset a lot, because eating the same, it's not that hard for me to eat the same, but all the temptation that you have, and you can just say no, no, no. It's just like later down the line, it's just easier, because you can also do it in the business. If you're, especially when you start out your business, like you have so many different, people that are saying, hey, do you want to do this? And hey, do you want to do that? And if you just have built that momentum inside your head to like say no and focus, no and focus, it just helps you down the road. And that has helped me a lot to actually be on a diet, just to be consistently. Like I did actually, put my food on a scale, everything that I put in, I didn't do it just to, have, okay, I want to stay in shape, I did it more to try to push myself, because obviously it's not nice to weigh everything that you're doing and put it on a scale. But I mean, it's just shaping your mind. So 100% I can. If someone wants to be kind of disciplined, they should like really gonna diet just for 3 months and see how they will shape that. They will completely be a different person, because after, if they have kind of temptation to sweet things or whatever, if they can just master, okay, now I'll just be on this diet for 3 months, they can do so much more in their life, in terms of like every time they want to do something, or every time that they need to do something and didn't want to do it, they have that habit for, before that they have to be on a diet. So that is, definitely something I can recommend.
Awesome, bro. Thank you for the insight. Let's speak now about you as a agency owner, and especially like as for most of people who I know who started like less than 4 years ago, let's say 2020 was a game changer. And I would say from my perspective, I was already in e-commerce, but decision to scale the agency was exactly during the COVID, because what's the difference really showing to me for people who started that time and like regular employers is that we have seen the opportunities in the awful period of time in the human history. Instead of like panicking like everyone, I will remember I was like, oh my god, like what's we gonna be doing? I was really kind of stressed a bit in the beginning of March. The revenues went down. I had my stores that time, and I was doing mentorship for people, and their suppliers shut down the doors and so on. I was like, shit, what's gonna be done? And great that I had my mentor. I'm still have the same mentor with me, and he said to me, sometimes he giving me a punch on the face, like verbally, obviously, and he said like, fuck man, like take all the shit together and just switch to the agency. It's a huge opportunity right now. I said, what do you mean? Like, come on, everyone like having these issues and so on. It's the biggest opportunity. All the people stuck at home, just do it. And like, okay, I was always like listening what he's saying. I decided to switch. It was like, I like overnight just think about everything. When he said to me, I just like turned over completely my mindset, and I start seeing the opportunities. And like less than 10 days in March, because we officially, our agency since 2020, since March 25th, like I put in my mind that date. In the less than 5 or 7 days in March, we like double our revenue of whole months. I like, wow, that's really insane. So like the difference between all the people there and like you guys, like me as well, who decided to scale shit out of the opportunities, it's we have seen these opportunities in the troubleshooting situation. And now it's like recession, people are speaking about, crypto was fell down and so on. It's a huge opportunities again for us and for people out there just to take action and makes really difference in their life. What do you think about that? What was, in your opinion, the biggest decision to start it? And if you agree with me about it?
Actually, I didn't had I started the business in 2020 in Orpal. So I mean, I didn't have that, because I knew people before that, maybe had that, and when COVID came, they were just like, all right, like, is this bad? Is this good? And whatever, whatever. I came into the business when there was a lockdown, right? So the story behind of this was that I went to university, and there was a lockdown. So we needed to have, online. We need to have, all the classes online from home, and I was like, I can't do that. I couldn't sit like this for 8 hours and just straight hear what the teacher has to say. And then I took a course, in digital marketing and social media marketing. I was like, fuck it, I'll just try to do this. So I put my university degree on a hold for 6 months because I couldn't drop out. My parents would say, "What are you doing?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Look, I'll just give it 6 months. Let's see what it is. I'll just put everything down to it." And it was so crazy that time because it feels like everyone just wanted to they saw, like, I think that how people thought about this was when it started out, people were scared, like really really scared. And then all people switched from buying something physical. They bought it online. Also, the older people that actually used to don't ever buy anything online, now they are like, I need to try it. And then they trust it, because obviously some older people, they really don't trust to buy anything online. So I just saw a big 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 boom. And every time, especially under that, because I have never been in marketing before, but I just put anything like 1,000 in, I was just like 10,000 out. I was like, what is going on here? So I mean, when you could showcase all of those results, all of these results that you have for other business, I would say it was not easier, but it was kind of easier that time compared to now, because I like 100% in my mind think that it was actually a good time to start, because it was so easy to generate results back then compared to now, because you literally could put up whatever and then people just buy, like whatever that you put up, boom, buy. And obviously then the transition came after a year, I think so, or maybe 14 16 months after, where COVID started to decrease a lot, and the iOS 14 came, right? And then
Exactly.
the hard part was actually to explain to all of these like all of these clients that you had, like, look,
That something is happening wrong.
we are going this, we're now having this iOS, so we can track like everything, and we don't know how it's going to be affected. We project that this is what going to happen, and X, Y, and Z. The hardest part is actually to be working with clients where they want to be at the same level as they were in 2020. Because I had a client, I didn't have that client that time. I can see in the Shopify store, they were used to do 20k 20k 20k. Then in March 2020 they did 20k, and then they did 850k. And then and then they just maxed out on all of the things they had, like so many different. And then they just had hand sanitizer was the first that had that, and all of that. But now their mindset, they want to be at the same level as there was back then. But nobody is going to buy that many things of like hand sanitizer and whatever that was that they sold that time. So it's hard right now for many business actually to have that mindset where it's like, all right, like we were in the, like, COVID was the best that ever have happened for e-commerce businesses. I don't know if we're going to see that in the near future again, but it was insane. It was very very crazy.
Like exactly, like I remember these feelings, and I remember how I was calling this kind of effect. So basically before 25th of March, before switching completely to agency, because I was in my stores, I was in mentorship, and I had an agency where I was me and one media buyer for over 1.5 years already. So we were doing here and there some help. We were able to scale one store to multiple millions, which was freaking awesome, like an amazing feelings, and plus my stores as well. But in the same time, like the results, as you said, it was just like okay result, just was fine and smooth scale. But when we decided to create the agency officially and scale it, so by in the beginning of April, I hired 3 more media buyers, start hiring the sales team. We start hiring so fast. From one employer in 2.5 months, we become like almost 9 employers, something like that. And in 2.5 months, I didn't know what a CEO, I didn't know like how to manage 9 people. Wow, like come on, like I'm a media buyer. I'm a store owner, a media buyer. I'm not a. I didn't know even. Oh, I'm a CEO. In half year, I only realized that. Oh my God, I'm on a CEO position. I didn't realize that. I was like, okay, I'm business owner, but I didn't think that I have some kind of position in my life in the company. But the thing is, what I was calling this effect when everything started, whatever we were doing, it was really easy from scratch in the dropshipping space. It was so easy to scale. And I remember like whatever we're launching, it just really giving insane results. And I was like, hey guys, I feel that Mark Zuckerberg just went for quarantine and forget to switch off the PC. Like he just left open the BMs or whatever. He left open PC until he's at home during the quarantine. So we have to use this time. And when everything starts slowing down, I'm like, oh my God, Mark Zuckerberg back to work, something like that. And we were laughing from it because it was like feeling of this effect that really someone forget to switch off something, and it was giving such an incredible result that moment.
What that back in March 2020?
Yeah, it was March 2020 to middle of the year of 2020 for sure, when it was just scaling parts for the clients from nothing, and it was like surprising me. Like we never had such kind of like easy scale results, and it was an incredible feeling. And after that, it's just slowing down for normal results, and iOS 14 happened.
Exactly. Like when I started, also if you were talking about, or if you saw like results from US, like these guys, they were talking about, like I can get you 2x and 2.5x your money back. And in Denmark, it was just like, if we got more, less than, we're a 7 or 700% or 7x, it was just like, that wasn't good. You need to have 10x, right? Which is now, that's never going to happen, never going to be happening, because of obviously all the situation there is right now. And if I, going back to the thing that you talked about regarding now, it's also a new opportunity that is going ahead now. Obviously, because we are going into a recession, even though maybe we are in a recession. For some brands, you can feel it. For some other brands, you can't really do it. So it's also about to be very, very strategic of what your next move is going to be. Are you going to go into info products and you believe about this type of e-commerce, or is it like this type of info product, or are you going fully into e-commerce? Are you then not trying to go into too high end of different products because people would maybe not buy that? Are you then trying to switching over to stores that have a lower AOV, even though that you might not be making money in the first purchase, but if you can scale it and that people will come back, then you can also really, because I think that many people are actually going to decrease their marketing spend, and then they're like firing their agencies, and hey, it's like not good results, and we'll just decrease our ad spend, and then just living off the customers that we have right now, which is fine in the in the short term. Exactly, because there are maybe a couple of months that they can capitalize on all of these customers, but then 6 months from now they can't, like they will just decrease. Exactly. So it's also to be very, very strategic in terms of how you're going to play your cards now, which is also whatever that we're doing for all the clients, because we are right now, for all clients, we're just spending as much money as possible at a break even. They just, okay, now we need to scale, whatever. It's fine if we make, a bit profit in the front end, but we just need to have so many customers into our business. And actually, even some clients we're making, I would say maybe 5-8% loss on the first purchase. And then we are strategic because we have data that shows how many new customers that actually come into the business, or how many people that purchase, when they will come back. And then every time that have a sale, all of the people that are on the email list and people that haven't purchased yet, they come back. So we strategically plan our sale month when we know we need the cash flow to obtain, so maybe we will do like loss this month, and then huge profit in month 3, and do the same and same and same. And then at the year spectrum, we will be at the same level in terms of net margins, but we have just spent like 15x the amount of money. So that is how we are doing with some of the clients that we're working with. So strategically plan how we're going to do these things, instead of just looking at a month. Like in February, we need to have 20% margins. All right, like we can do that. We can just kill the ad spend and, capitalize on the people that will come. Or we can be looking at 12 months period and then strategically, doing something out of that. So I really believe that there is some business out there that is, leaving a lot of opportunity and money on the table. How they are doing it right now,
Yeah.
at least.
The biggest problem of people who are in the business or starting their business, or in the business and never worked with the real like media buyers or agencies, or haven't studied the real skills for being a good in advertising, don't understand that the real income, the real profit is on the back end. Front end, you need just to get the customers. Obviously, it's great to make a profit on front end, but we have this kind of problem that customers come in and thinking that the number one thing is upfront profit, because they're thinking about the here and now, short term making money, which is completely understandable. But if you want to be on the long run, I'm the person who is super passionate, and like I can do not make money for a matter of months, and after that suddenly like I see that it start recovering all my loss, and done. That's why I'm always investing in all these kind of coachings, masterminds, just to understand like what else I can get, and like I'm just implementing, losing, and finally in a matter of some time it starts recovering. And because I'm working on the long run, and this is what I was in my like past experience when I was dealing with customers directly, only me, I was educating them, listen, like this is exactly like what has to be done on the long term, and if you don't understand that, you won't be able to survive. And that's what is happening to the brands, let's say, who, like you said, the good example about the sanitizers. I know one amazing brand in UK who were done several $1 million on the masks, face masks during the COVID. They were scaling as shit. It was incredible profitable business with a super low margin product, incredible profitable business. They done so much on the back end. And the thing is, a few days ago, I don't know why, I was comparing some stores. I'm like, oh, what about those guys? I want to see how they adapt their store. And it's not exist anymore. So they were scaling, they were getting money now, but they were not focusing on strategically thinking what's going to be happen next when the trend will fall down. And now this brand is not exist, and it was making multiple $1 million in the sales profitably, and nothing was just planned strategically how to adapt to the changes of the demand, of the changes of iOS 14, COVID will be not around anymore, like what we have to do to make things works well. And they haven't, well done, they make money like shortly, obviously it's a good startup budget, for sure they're doing something else at the moment. But I'm just saying there is some huge potential brands and stores which is just kill themselves because they were not able to think in advance, in a couple of steps ahead, and plus they were just thinking on let's make it now, let's make it money now. Like if you're thinking about the brand, it won't be working out for sure.
No, but I mean, I believe that that's how many, mindset of, especially for dropshippers is, right? Because they don't want to make a brand where brand owners, they are in the long run. They know like that. That's fine because I'm in this like 10 years down the line. compared to other job shippers. They're just like, they just need to make money now, and they don't have anything to sell them up front, and they don't really care about customer service. They don't care about everything. They're just like pushing it out to everyone, which is fine here and now, but in like 3 months from now, you need to set everything up again. And then it's just going over and over again, setting a new store up, fail, maybe it's success. You kill the market and you do it over and over again. And I mean, sometimes some people like to do that. I'm just, in my head, it will be, too stressful to scale it up, kill it, scale it up, kill it, because you don't know if it's going to be good or not. But something that came to my mind, it was also all of these, all of these businesses that didn't work online and had e-commerce businesses back in 2020, they needed to come to, become an ecom brand. Otherwise, they will just kill themselves, right? Because all of the people that wasn't the retailers. And something that was so funny, especially with the client that I've been working with, I also work with a brand that was a multiple 8-figure brand. And I mean, the content that they wanted to be showing on advertising, they thought it was like, they thought they were Gucci and Louis Vuitton and stuff like that. No, this is how, our brand value is. This is how we need to be presented. It's like, all right, that's fine, but that's never going to be happening. Like, that can't perform. And many people is going to transist now. Also, the big company, they will now do all like user generated content and content that people actually want to be engaging with, and not just high-end photo shoots of a girl that is standing with a red wall behind them and stuff like that. So I mean that I really think that there have been a big transmission from just in 2 years period of how everyone thinks about the internet, how everyone thinks about the marketing, how they need to present themselves, and stuff like that. So that is also a common thing I've seen with many brands that I've been working with in the past, that need to have that mindset shift of the content that you're doing and the photo shoot. That's fine, but that's not what is going to perform on social media.
Yeah, and especially like I want to just close this chapter about the drop shippers and making money now. It's 100% a good to start with. Even doing that, like build automation. I have a friend who, like, first of all, I will start. Since 2018, I have so many friends in the dropshipping space, and like 95% of them are not doing dropshipping anymore. They already in the brand, so they just like sold out everything and doing something else. But some of them who are doing dropshipping still, like me, like they just are focusing on making that on really consistent basis, because they sick and tired of this kind of like you said, scale and down. So it's about consistent testing, consistent new creatives, consistent strategy plan, what's going to be happen tomorrow with my product. But like I don't know anyone who is doing dropshipping, just dropshipping on a regular basis without any kind of scaled strategic sell stuff. Otherwise, like you burn out. I one of my friends, he was almost got divorced, and like he was really in depression, and the guy was doing 100k a day, and he was like he wasn't sleep for a month. He wasn't able to sleep. He was destroyed. He was hated everything. He was fighting with his wife. He was like having less time with kids. And we met later on, like in 1 year after that, in person. And he said, man, like for me it was the horrible time. December, like it was December 2019. He was doing okay, and he said, listen, like I decided to start my own brand because I realized that I have no goal in my life. Like I'm making good income, I'm great, I started investing in real estate, I have a great car, I bought a car for my wife, we are living in a dream house, but I hate everything because shut down Facebook, customer service complaints, shut down the payment provider, all that shit happens over and over again. And he like, done. I decided to slow down and move to the brand side, and he started running his brand. And idea, because of his depression, it gives him idea of specific awesome brand for the good sleepness. So he prepared some stuff. He was explaining me exactly what is that, and it's worked out for him, and he started enjoying what he's doing because he started seeing the future. So the idea, in my opinion, about the brands, about switching from just dropshipping to something bigger, especially brands with the recurring income, so something what will be refilling or changing, like Gillette, they have cartridges which need to be changed. Some kind of soap suppliers, they have always extra soaps which need to be refilled. Yeah, so these kind of things give you possibilities to build a brand and consistent results. And the most important is you will be able to exit. So you're able to sell your brand, because even not brand, let's say it's dropshipping, but with the recurring income, you will be able to sell it, and you will be make an exit and make ton of cash from it. Then you just are gonna be shut down the advertising, and it doesn't worth anything without the advertising. That's what I feel on myself as well with my stores. We were done really well, and like without great recurring customers and subscriptions from with them, great LTV from the customers, you are not worth anything. And that's what, in my opinion, that is one of the reasons why you cannot focus only like cash today. You always has to
No,
be thinking
because
10 years.
I have also been working with clients like that, right? And there isn't, even though that you can make so much money, if you just look at the revenue size, every day you need to go out and buy a new customer, buy a new customer, buy a new customer, buy a new
Run
customer.
behind, yeah.
And you don't even actually have something you can sell them. It's like the best way is definitely something that lasts for 2 or 3 months, where people, if they like the product, they will come back, because then you can also calculate and talk about the 60, 90, 180 days lifetime value, and then you can really scale your business in terms of that number, instead of just going out every single day and need to have a new customer into the business. Because 1 year from now, 1.5 years from now, it's going to be very, very tough to sustain what you have done beforehand. So yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, 100%. I'm on the same way, and I would like to, especially about a couple of years from now, would like to know your opinion. Where is the e-commerce is going? On your opinion, how AI will be taking, what kind of part AI will take a part of the success for the e-commerce in near future, and how it will be look like in next 2-3 years from now? What do you think?
I mean, AI going to, I really think that it's going to change a lot, like a lot. Everything that is labor today, which kind of, for instance, if it's going to be the customer support and customer service and all of that, you can completely fire these people, and then you can have a chat that you can just learn up. So it's talk like, a person. If they emailing you, they can answer it in a matter of seconds, which means all of that from the people that is, consumer of the product, I think that is fine. From the people that may be working in some of the brands can be pretty tough, because I have one of my good friends' mother, they own a fashion brand, and they used to pay kind of a lot for 2 people sitting and working and optimizing the website all the time, and okay, now we need to have a photo shoot and whatever. He literally in 2 minutes took a picture from the website, published it to the AI, and that girl even didn't have, it was a long sleeve, so you couldn't even see her arms, right? And then he just said, make one with red, blue, yellow, and then make one that is t-shirt with XXX. And then the AI spit 15 or 20 pictures out like that. You can copy paste it, put it to a website. So imagine, instead of have a big day of a photo shoot and take, especially if you have so many, exactly, and especially if you have so many SKUs, because obviously in fashion you have so many different products sometimes. So imagine if you can just take one picture with one girl with one different style, put it into AI, and in a matter of 2 minutes you have everything. So that way will help a lot. In terms of the marketing side, when ChatGPT, the 4.0 come out, I really, really, really believe that it's going to change a lot, because right now, how you can, talk with how I'm doing it right now, because I'm kind of more learning it, like try to apply it more in the work day to day. So you just have like one chat where you just have learned it, like this is the brand, and just giving that so much information. So when you come back in 2 weeks from now, hey, can you do this for me? It will just spit it out, buy it and put it. So I mean, in terms of the workload from you, also make it a lot faster. I don't think that I think it basically could do whatever, like when, down the line from now, if, they make an AI media buyer, 100% is going to be better than you. But I really still believe, even though that we're in the business side, that we want to have that human contact. But in terms of creative, in terms of all of the different things, I'm thinking that it's going to be ridiculous how that you can spit out so many different things, like creative, copies, emails, all of those different things. It can just do it in a matter of seconds. So I really, really believe that instead of being scared of it, because you could be, okay, like, could this take my job or couldn't it? I just think now you need to be the best to use AI to your advantages, and then you will be on top again. Because I don't think it will go in and, hey, call up, even though that maybe it can in, a couple of years from now, calling and sign clients for you, if you have like a sales AI, whatever. But I really believe that you need to already now be looking at how can you take advantage of it, and what can it help you to do, and put a lot of the stress out of your shoulders, because it is crazy what it can do. So I really think that it will completely revolutionize how the e-commerce is today, and just like almost everything on the internet, because it can help you with so many different things, and it's so quick, and it's also just constantly be better and better and better. And I don't know if you have seen like it visually, how the ChatGPT like 3 there's now, I think it's 3.0 compared to the 4. It's like this is like the 3.0, and then there's like this 4.0. So I looking forward to when it's coming out, and I think it's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Max, I'm on the recording. It's my son.
No worries.
I agree. Like, it's really like hard to imagine what's gonna be happen in the 3 years. In the 3 years, because so much happened in the matter of 2 months with AI show up. 2.5 months AI with us, only 2.5. Can you imagine how many switch has been done? And I believe we are not utilizing that at all at the moment. Some of our friends, as you can see, like they really trying to expand it a lot, but still I believe they are still on the like slow start of what it really can produce for all our companies. And they like expanding the e-commerce brand in matter of next 3 years. If to adapt to the changes again, adapting, it would be like matter of not multiple even 8 figures. It's directly can scale to multiple 9 figures and higher, which is means we'll have a lot of sales on the marketplaces, where brands gonna be like, people will be now earning money on the scaling, easy scaling small brands, making it big, fast, and just selling out. That's will give a huge boom on the e-commerce market about buying, selling the brands, and something incredible definitely coming now. And as well, I love what you said about the customer service, about the instant emails, and the designing for the t-shirts, like designing for the clothing brands. Actually, I wasn't thinking about that. It's insanely saving amount of cash and time, especially because like it's really hard, like preparation, buying in advance all the stock to prepare everything, for finding the models, finding the right photography, let photographer to make all that designing stuff, and the photo shooting, and the like all the effects and making professional pictures for you. And after that, like it's huge. It's months, it's weeks and months of work, and it could be instantly done in a minutes.
I even also think, like, for instance, right, I'm a guy that actually is pretty funny that I'm working with, marketing, but I hate to buy stuff online because it's never fits me if it's close. Like, I don't know,
About the clothing, I agree with you.
I need
It's
to
true.
I need to go there because I don't want to. Okay, down here in Dubai, we don't have Amazon in Denmark, but down here it's just like you can try it and put it outside the door, and they'll just pick it up, right? So that's fine. But I mean, I even think that on your websites, you can have a webcam or something like that,
It's
where
Web3. Yeah.
where you have like an AI. So you have a profile on this whatever it's going to be, and then you can talk with that, computer AI, and then they know exactly which size for me that fits me because that's know my body, and they have taken like a 3D scan of everything. So when I'm going in,
Yeah.
they're like, "This is your size, 100%. This is
It
whatever. What
sounds
is this? This is what it's going to be." So I mean, down the line, it can be all of the whatever that, like, it will. I'm really looking forward to it because I think that it can like there can happen so many different things. Like, you can also hire a sales guy, which is going to be an AI that can learn from the most,
yeah,
like the
Walk of Wall Street in the
yeah
metro a day.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I just know that I need to stay on top of it and be okay. What is going to happen next? Because right now there's so many different AIs. Obviously, ChatGPT is the most well known, but there's so many different AIs in different sectors that you can take advantages of, right? So I mean, if you just take advantage of it, and it doesn't matter whatever you're working with, it can help you with whatever it's going to be. So I mean, with
Even in
everything,
personal life,
is
diet and all the stuff. Like,
exactly.
what's your sicknesses, what's your
Yeah,
blood pressure, what's your gym exercises, and it will give you
yeah,
exactly the meal which you have to eat. And maybe it will be even apps where you're gonna be typing, and if you haven't typed the proper food, it will be just punishing you by somehow. I mean, a lot of, like, it's like we are coming to our virtual personal assistants in the real life, on our personal lives. And
yeah,
what you just said about like web3, it's already given us possibilities to wear some stuff in the virtual reality.
yeah,
It's fine, but with AI, maybe like Google or some other corporations will be created like when you are creating your Gmail, for example, it
yeah,
will ask you all the stay in front of the camera, so
yeah,
it's scanning you, making all the like necessary measurements, asking you for your weight, your like habits, whatever, and done. And then when you're on the website shopping, it telling you like what exactly will fit you, like even not about clothing, like bicycle, the right weight bicycle, the right, I don't know, like hats, whatever it is. It really could be an insane, like Alexa,
it
but
will,
on the next
will.
level.
But I also think that there will, start to become so many different regulations about that, because you can also use it in a negative way. You can start to be, because I actually just finished a audiobook. It's about AI, like how it's going to be in 2041. And they're also just talking about all the different things that actually potentially could happen, and how we are as society just living whatever. Um, it's called I think AI in 2024 2041. Let me check here. I'm actually so bad at remember the book's name. I'm just it's called
Yeah, it would be actually, I'm wondering because I would love to read that as well. I mean, obviously, it's just a thoughts, people trying to predict, but always there is like kind of real stuff is
yeah.
behind.
It is just AI 2041, but like
Nice. I will check that.
Kai Fu Lee and Chen Chuan, whatever you're going to say that. But yeah, it is just weird how they are like going to do with all of this, but I think that there was, start to become like so many different regulations, because you can also use it in very, very negative way. Because how then you can put it in, and they can automate everything in terms of, if this is a picture of you or a Donald Trump doing X, Y, and Z, and put it into AI, and then they can produce it so you can't see anything that is
The
different.
voice, everything,
And
yeah.
and then it's just propaganda, and then you don't know if it's going to be good or not, good or not, good or not. And down the line, there's going to be many, regulations, but here and now, you just need to take advantage of it with everything. Just use it as kind of a mentor. If you have a question, just going in there instead of Google is way faster. It's going to give you, like, you need to learn it, because otherwise it's just giving you, hey, you could try this, and be specific, and they will give you specific answer. So I mean, really, really start to be using it in your day-to-day life with everything. It doesn't need to be
Yeah,
business.
it's all about like how well we are asking question, then how powerful it is. Because I have seen the comments like, "Hey, it's like what and what and how it works and doesn't like what it will makes difference. Oh, it's a BS." I was when I reading this kind of comments on some of the videos, I like, fuck guys, are you kidding? Like seriously? And it's just like only one limitation. Oh, it's so banal, but like it's so basic answers. Yeah, but if you're gonna be like studying how to ask proper questions and let it study from all your cases and ask the right questions, it will give you such a deep answers which is you would not ever figure it out by yourself, or it would take you days, weeks, you and your team to get it done. But like it's definitely something which is like people undervaluating, and it's insanely when I'm reading such kind of comments. Like it's ridiculous. Those kind of people, they're gonna be just a consumers. I mean, they will never use that kind of systems at all.
I mean, it's
Anyway,
just good to be good with the road. That's the same, be an early adopter to crypto, be an early adopter to whatever that is going to be there. Just be curious about it, learn a bit about it, and then it will be better, because it's only going to be crazier from now. Imagine
you
how
know,
the world has evolved for the past 20 years, and then imagine next 10 years. That is just going to say 10x that of what would
that's
have been.
what that's what I was thinking to say, that we are now in the era when when I start Facebook advertising back in 2017, I was 26. I like shit, I start so late. Facebook advertising, all those guys who are behind the big names, they started when it's begin, like when it was the easiest one. They jump in on the first train and they just start expanding and getting all those results. And now it's a big names who are selling the courses, who are teaching, who building a huge real estate portfolios and so on. I was looking like, wow, they started on the right time. I'm in 2017, I'm already late, something like that. But now we are kind of those guys who are in the startup such as a Facebook business manager that moment. It's exactly something what we can become in matter of 10 years. Those guys who I was admired before, if we're gonna be utilizing this kind of innovations. So definitely, bro, like I'm excited about it.
I'm looking forward to it and see what is going to be happening. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. I have a last question to you, which I'm asking always for everyone, and looking forward to hear your opinion on it. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you choose? End result or journey?
Journey. I believe always a mix of whatever, but you have had when you didn't have any business whatsoever, you maybe would think in your mind X amount of whatever, if it's money, like, oh, I'll make 10K or 20K or whatever. When you hit it, it doesn't change anything. It's usually from zero to the small one that is, making the biggest change. And I mean, if you just straight go to the end goal, or if I'm just having the end goal, I need to have the journey, because the journey is what is going to be fulfilling when you look back at what you started doing, compared to just have a go to the end goal. So I would take the journey, because you also it's more fulfilling, and also every time that you have all of these, like challenging and like every time that you put like just straight go to a wall, you need to figure out a solution, and you will become more wise as a person. And then every time you do so, you just become better and better and better as a human being, right? So I mean, the journey is, I also want to work towards the end goal, right? But if you just have an end goal, if it's like this, if you hypothetically say, okay, I need to make 20 million, when I do that, then I will be happy. Then you have also said, until I've made that, I can't be happy. So I need to be angry or working and not be doing anything else. And when you are at that 20 million, I'm so sure that you'll be the same mindset, right? So everything's come down to today, and be very, very present of where you are, and then just enjoy the journey, because there's going to be up and downs all the times. And I just think that's how it is to have a business.
Awesome. I love your answer. Yeah, we have end the results, but they always changing at the end all the time when we achieve them, and it's become like a lifetime journey. That's my opinion as well. And actually, I had heard different answers, but each of them are individually similar but different. And your answer was quite like unique as well in terms of like how you see it. And I love to hear that from you, bro. I appreciate it, Lace, to be with us. If you have anything to say to our audience, like whatever you wish, just please go ahead.
I would just say, like, believe in yourself, and just jump into it, because so many different times where you want to do something, you are overthinking so many different scenarios of like, okay, what is going to happen if I do X, Y, Z, whatever. Just be casual, jump into it and figure it out. Like, if you don't know, for instance, if it took in the marketing, and if you don't know the service that you're going to provide, but you know how to sell, just sell it. Like, just sell the service. You'll figure it out. Like 100% you'll figure it out. Otherwise you can, obviously outsource it. But every time that you are overthinking it too much, just jump straight into it. Because when you then are into that specific task, a specific thing that you actually wanted to be at, then it's just okay, it wasn't actually that bad. And then if you can develop that mindset and habit again, every time that you want to do something and you procrastinate, if you just jump into it, it will become easier and easier and easier with everything again. So I would just say, like, follow your dream, follow your passion. Because from 3 years ago, I was, in a university and didn't know what to do. And I mean, now I'm, always wanted to be living in, a place where there's sunny all the time, good weather, enjoying your life. And now I'm sitting here, and it has been a pretty crazy road, but I like it, man. I do like it.
I used to live in Dubai, and I know what you mean. It's guys, it's really if you're single, you're making money, you're focusing on your business, go to Dubai. It's a beautiful place, especially for the single person, because like when you have a family, this is the reason why I left. Like for the kid, I don't believe that it's the best place, but it's an amazing place to stay in for sure. Thank you for your feedback, bro, and thank you for your words. We will definitely leave all the information about Lace in our bio description, so you can go to his social media profile, can DM him, ask whatever you wish. And really, like, I love our conversation, and like, we have a lot of small important insights here, and it's important for you if you're starting your own business, your brand, or the agency side, what you have to look on. And especially one of the always in my life bigger nuggets, I would say that you have to be ready to adapt to the changes if you want stay for long, not just to make money here and only now. It's not bad when you're at the beginning of the journey, because you need, number one goal is to generate income to be able to move forward. But if you want to stay long in the business, you have to start on the right way with the right mindset and be ready to adapt to any changes. So thank you for everyone for listening to us. Lace, thank you so much for being with me on this podcast, and I really love our conversations. Speak soon, guys.
Speak to you soon. Thank you for having me. Take care.